Greetings. I'm Duncan here at the Dzogchen Retreat Center, USA, and at the request of Khenpo Choga, I've been asked to teach about phenomena and thinking. This is all according to Buddhist teaching, and beforehand, I totally want to pay homage. I totally pay homage to all people with positive thinking, with love and compassion in all universes. And I'm not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed at times, but I'm going to take this blunt object which I possess and use it to the best of my ability to fashion the best possible thing for all beings. So hopefully everybody who watches this, who hears this, will get something that will contribute to their inherent wisdom awakening within them. So we make a lot of assumptions in daily life. One of these assumptions that a lot of people tend to make is that phenomena and thinking are two different things. However, upon close investigation, we find that this isn't the case. Now, before I venture into this investigation of phenomena, it's really important that each individual, every person, makes a decision or decides who they are. Because if they don't know who they are, it's going to be very difficult to really get into what everything else around them is. If I don't know who I am, how am I going to make any sort of decisions about the things around me? And a lot of modern science and Western science focuses a lot on the object being outside and really gets into this thing outside of themselves. But they usually don't look at the looker. So it's really important to make a decision or a distinction. Who am I? Now, if I were to say I was my body, this would prove itself to be a false statement. Because once my body were to pass away and I were to die, you wouldn't say, that corpse is Duncan, unless you're talking about just a label for something right there that you need to dispose of in some fashion. And also, you wouldn't take my arm and say, this arm is Duncan. Because if you were to take it and cut it into sections, you wouldn't say, this hand is Duncan. And you wouldn't, if you were to take the hand and put it in a blender and grind it up, you wouldn't say, this thick paste is Duncan. And again, if you were to take it and put it under a microscope and look in at the cell, you wouldn't say, this cell is Duncan. And if you were to go in further and look at the atoms comprising the cell, you wouldn't say, this cell is Duncan, or this atom is Duncan. And if you were to go in further and try to find a partless particle, you wouldn't say, this partless particle is Duncan. And if you were to go in further and see that each partless particle contains 6 sides and you can keep going ad infinitum, to infinity, you wouldn't say, this is Duncan. So, I'm not my body, and you are not your body. So then, who am I really? Actually, according to Buddhist teaching, you are your thinking. And this thinking exists only in the present moment, only right here, right now. So although you may have perceptions or conceptions about a past and a future, those ideas only exist right here, right now, in the present moment. So it's very important to make that decision, to decide for yourself, and I invite any inquisitive mind watching this or hearing this to investigate and really look, am I something besides my present moment thinking? And the answer, you will decide, present moment thinking. So now, jumping back to this investigation of phenomena. Now, according to Buddhist teaching, all things that can be known can be divided into outer and inner phenomena. And these outer and inner phenomena correspond to what is known as the 5 composites, also known as the 5 aggregates. And these are form, feeling, perception, impulse, and consciousness. Now, outer phenomena would constitute form, feeling, perception, impulse, and consciousness would correspond to your inner phenomena. And again, these are all aspects of your present moment thinking. So there, according to that, there is no thinking separate from phenomena. Now, for a lot of people, they haven't really studied, you may not have studied Buddhist philosophy or Buddhist science. So I just like to give a couple points on more of a basic level. So you're never going to be able to talk about phenomena as something outside of your thinking and have it actually be outside of your thinking. Because if phenomena and thinking are two different things, there's nobody there to talk about it. There's no thinking there to think about any phenomena outside of their thinking. And if you're thinking about phenomena existing outside of your thinking, you're thinking about that. So phenomena and thinking are not two separate things. Another good point to look at is if I increase my positive thinking, if I have a lot of love and compassion towards everybody, then my phenomena is going to reflect that. So for example, if I have a lot of positive thinking and positive karma, or a lot of positive thinking, love, and compassion during the day, I might hear the sound of this duck, and it might sound like extremely joyful. I might be like, ah, yeah, the duck just made a good noise. However, if I have like a lot of negative thinking, and I'm like, ah, I hate everybody, today sucks, I just totally hate it. You might hear the sound of this, like, oh, that sound. So this is kind of evidence that phenomena and thinking aren't two separate things. And besides your negative thinking, there's really no negative phenomena. Now, you might experience something that might seem kind of harsh, like maybe somebody, like a boss at work, or bad weather or something, that might arise, but if you see it as an opportunity to practice patience, then this actually turns into practice. And it's not actually negative phenomena. And on the other hand, you might have like a beautiful day and a bunch of beautiful people having lots of fun, but if I have like a lot of anger and I feel real pissed off, then it all sucks anyway. It doesn't matter how beautiful it is. So that's kind of evidence that thinking and phenomena are not two separate things. Also, as your thinking changes, so does phenomena. As your phenomena changes, so does your thinking. Also, if the more you separate yourself from your phenomena, the more you think that, the more I think, I should probably focus more on me instead of saying you, either way, the more I think that there's separation between myself and phenomena, the more I'm ingraining the idea that happiness and suffering are caused by things outside of my own thinking. And this is going to create more suffering for me. If I know that happiness and suffering, the cause of which don't exist outside of my thinking, then I'm automatically going to have more happiness. And that's because thinking and phenomena are not two different things. Your thinking is your phenomena. This is just the one point that I really wanted to reiterate for everybody, is that there's no happiness outside, there's no suffering outside. And through increasing your positive thinking, through having love and compassion for all beings, you'll be like a light radiating throughout the world. And you can really help all beings in everything you do with this intention. So I encourage anybody who watches this, anybody who even thinks about this, I offer and invite everybody to practice love and compassion, to open up their wisdom, and to reveal their true nature, which is absolute bliss.